trinomial instead of a binomial, okay? Now it is review, we already know how to factor these, okay? And you're gonna be following the same 3 steps that we have up here on the board. You're gonna always set your equation equal to 0, you are going to factor it, and then you're gonna take those factors and set them equal to 0, alright? So it's the same 3 steps every time, okay? So on so let's backtrack for a second. Quadratic equation. Can anybody tell me quadratic equation? Give me a hint. Quadratic equation. Something like that. Okay, killing me. You guys are killing me. Okay, this is something that was on our cheat sheet last chapter, alright? So quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? We had a quadratic expression in our last unit. Now we change it over to an equation, which means equal sign, okay? And we are going to have a lot of y equals here soon when we start graphing. But for right now, we're going to keep putting a 0 there because we're actually going to solve the equation, okay? So just kind of take note that eventually we're going to have a lot of y's because we're going to start looking at the graphs of them, okay? But until then, we have a 0, okay? All right, any questions on that? Okay, so that's quadratic equation, okay? So when I'm looking at this, keep in mind, this guy right here tells me how many answers I should end up with. I should end up with 2 solutions, okay? All right, now, go through our steps. Is it set equal to 0?
Yes.
Yeah, so check on the number 1. Okay, number 2, is it factored? Yeah, so we need to factor it, okay? So let's review. How do you factor something when there's a 1 out front? What do we do? Keelan? Good, all right. Factors of 24. So we're going to make a list of factors, and he says they need to add up to 11. That's exactly right, okay? So factors of 24. Does anybody know something real quick off the top of your head already? 3 and 8, very good. If you didn't know 3 and 8 though, no big deal. You would do 1 times 24, right? That's not going to get us 11. 2 times 12, not 11. And then we'll hit 3 times 8. Yeah, that looks like it might work. So it's okay to make a list of factors until you find something that works, okay? All right, so now, what would I write here? How do you write this? Chase, do you remember?
1, 3, or d plus 3, d plus 8.
Nice job. D plus 3 and D plus 8. And keep in mind, the sign rules from the last unit are still applying. So if we have a positive, it's either got to be positive, positive, or negative, negative here. Okay, so none of that's changed. Okay, but we know if there's a positive here, we've got to work the positives. Okay? All right, so now that was step 2. Step 3, set your factors equal to 0. So what do we do there? John?
D plus 3 equals 0, and then d plus 8 equals 0.
Good. D plus 3 equals 0, and D plus 8 equals 0. Okay? So now, what is D going to equal on this first guy here? Negative 3. What about the second guy? Negative 8. And those are my 2 solutions, okay? Just like we talked about. If you got an exponent of 2, you get 2 answers, okay? All right, does anybody have a question on number 1 so far? Okay? All right, so what do we think here on number 2? What do you think is a good first step on number 2? Okay, John, what do you think?
Make problem equal to 0.
Okay, and how would you do that?
Subtract the 70.
Good, very good. Okay, we're going to subtract 70 off to this side. Now, one of the things that's really important that you need to pick up, keep it in order. All right, it needs to be in order. So z squared minus 3z minus 70 equals 0. Okay, it has to be in order. Ax squared plus bx plus c, in that order. Okay? All right, so now we're looking for factors of negative 70. So what do I know true is going to be true about my signs?
Negative and positive.
Negative and a positive, right? To get a negative 70, we got to take a negative times a positive. All right? Okay, take a second. Let me know when you think you've come up with numbers that will work there. Factors of 70, they get you 3. 10 and 7, very good. All right. So if I look at 10 times 7, okay, I need to make one of them a negative. Which one do I want to make negative and get a negative 3? Good, the 10, right? Okay. So now what's my answer here going to look like? Thomas, what do you think? Or your factor, sorry.
Z minus, or plus 7, I mean, and Z
right, Chase, what do we do now?
You make it equal 0.
Good. Can you get uniform for me, please? So make them equal to 0. All right. Okay, so with that being said, Jimmy, what's my first answer going to be here?
Z equals -7.
Okay, second answer?
Z equals 10.
Nice job. Very good. All right, does anybody have a question on that? So keep in order, that's important, okay? All right, so number 3. What do you guys think here on this one? What would be the first thing I would do? Add the 6x. Grayson says add the 6x. Now when I add that 6x over, make sure it pops up in the middle, right? So it's in order, okay? So 2x squared plus 6x minus 36 equals 0. Okay, is everybody okay with that first step? All right, now what do we do? Good, guys. Pull a GCF. So what number can come out here?
2.
Good job. Really good. Okay, so I'm going to pull a 2 out. X squared plus 3x minus 18 equals 0. Okay, for today only, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you should end up with a 1 in front. If not, you've messed up somewhere, okay? There should always be a 1 in front for today only, okay? We're just looking at these type of problems, okay? All right, so now, factors of negative 18 that get us 3. Okay, I hear a 6 and a 3, but that's not going to give me a 3. How? Okay, oh, negative 3. Sorry, I didn't hear negative 3. I heard 6 and 3. Okay? So if I do 6 and negative 3, now that's looking better. I get a 3 when I add it, right? And then 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Okay? All right, Francie, what's my factor here going to look like?
2x and x plus 6 and x minus 3.
Okay, there's one thing I don't like about what you wrote in here. The 2x. What should that be?
Oh, 2.
Just 2. There you go. All right, so let's erase that. And that'll be a difference. There will be a difference there. Okay? All right, is everybody okay with that so far? Okay, so now, when we set these equal to 0, you're going to set all parts equal to 0, even that 2. So 2 equals 0, x plus 6 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. Okay? Now, this guy right here out front, that 2 equals 0, does that actually work? Can 2 equal 0? No. So in this particular problem, we're just going to get rid of them. However, and I need you guys to look out for me, if, as Francie said, if that were a 2x, that changes the game a little bit, all right? Because if there's a variable, that means there would have been an answer here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if there was an x there, it would be x equals 0, all right? But because there's no x, that's not that we just throw it out. But you need to pay attention to that. There's a difference between variable and no variable. All right, so let's get rid of that. Oh, that's sad. Get rid of all that. Okay? All right, so the 2 equals 0 we throw out. So x equals
Negative 6.
-6,
And x equals
3. Actually, do you have a question or were you going to give me the answer? Okay. All right, does anybody have a question on this one? Doing okay today? Not too bad. Great. Flip over. All right, it says the height of a parallelogram. What is a parallelogram? If we don't know that, we can't do the problem. Huh? It is four-sided. What else we got? Parallelogram. A rectangle is an example of parallelogram. Yeah, most of the time when you guys see rectangle, you think rectangle. All right, I know you're a little advanced right now on this. Okay, see rectangle. When we think parallelogram, it's usually that rectangle kind of slanted over, kind of like you're starting to push it over. Okay, this is what a parallelogram looks like normally. Now there are a lot of other things that fall in parallelograms. Okay, all right. So now with this being said, let's review real quick. What would that red line down the middle be there? The height. Very good. So this would be height. Okay. Does anybody know what they call the bottom or the top here? Base. Okay. Good job. So base and height. Okay. All right. So it says the height of a parallelogram is 18 less than the base. Alright, so what do we know about this height again right here? Okay, we know it's gonna be a minus 18, right? It's 18 less. And I'm gonna go ahead and put just B for base so I know what I'm comparing it to. Okay? So now with that being said, what do you think I'm probably gonna use for a letter down here on my base? B. Okay, so I'm gonna call him B, and then the height will be B minus 18. Is everybody okay with how I came up with that? Okay? Alright, now does anybody know how to find the area of a parallelogram? Base times height, yep, you guys are right. If you said base times height, you're right. Okay, it's just like a rectangle. Okay? So I'm gonna take area equals base times height. So now what was my area? Did they give you a value for area?
175.
Okay, so I got 175 equals, base is gonna stay as base. And what is the height gonna be? Yeah, B minus 18, whoever said that. Okay? Alright, now this is something just a touch different than what we've seen. Does anybody have an idea where to go next here?
B squared.
Good, B squared minus 18. Good job, Braxton. Okay, so you're gonna distribute. So 175, B squared minus 18B. Okay, that's something we have not seen before. We've not had to distribute yet. Okay? Now, we're just back to our 3 steps. So what are we gonna do now? Okay, so, whoops. Okay, so subtract the 175, so 0 equals B squared minus 18B minus 175. Alright, let me know when you find a factor that works. If you don't have a calculator, you might want to grab one real quick or use one on your iPad. Okay? So, let me know when you think you found something that's going to work here. Factors in negative 175 are going to give me negative 18. I will make fun.
Get up.
No. Use your calculator to divide. Siri cannot take your test for you.
No, but like, it's so much faster.
I understand.
It's not faster if you gotta repeat it like 8 times until she understands you.
Thomas, that's maybe that's just you.
I don't think she likes me very much.
It's all those brothers and sisters in the background. You can't hear over them yelling.
True.
All right, let me know when you find something that works.
You sure it's something going to
Yeah. I think Mr. Davis might know it. I saw his hand up in the air. What?
7.
7 and 25. Good job. All right, so 7 and 25. Now, which one's going to be negative? The 25. So we're going to have a negative 25. All right, so 0 equals, we've got B plus 7 and B minus 25. Are we okay with that? All right, so now set them each equal to 0.
It's weird having the 0 on the left side.
Yeah, we don't put it there very often, do we? All right, so on the first one, what are we going to get? B equals negative 7. What about the second one? 25. Okay. Now, out of these two, one of these does not make any sense.
Negative. B 25 is the base.
Okay, yeah, B is the 25, but why did you pick 25 over the other guy? Because it's common sense, because your base can't be negative, all right? So in this case, this is your answer, okay? This poor guy right here doesn't make any sense. You can't have a negative base length, okay? So if I come up here and kind of look at this, if B equals 25, right, this is my base, then what's your height going to be?
Wait. 7.
It's going to be 7. 25 minus 18 is 7. So that's your height. And I should be labeling these are centimeters. So you'll have a 7 by 25 parallelogram. Okay. All right, does that make sense to everybody? You got a question? Nope, okay. All right.